let's read about this group in Revelation 14 and verses 17 through 20. This is the other harvest. This is the harvest of the wicked, or the separation of the wicked. It says there in verse 17, "Then another angel came out of the temple." And I don't really have time to show you that that word temple, the Greek word naos, is really referring to the most holy place of the heavenly sanctuary. It's not talking about all of the heavenly sanctuary. It's talking about the most holy place of the sanctuary. So it says, "Then another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven." This is very clearly happening in heaven. "He also having a sharp sickle." See, he's also going to harvest. And it continues saying, "And another angel came out from the altar who had power over fire." Now, this altar is the altar of incense, which was in the holy place of the sanctuary. And basically what the priest did was that he would put fire into a censer, and he would also put incense into it. And the Bible says that as he was waving the censer before the Lord, he was interceding before God. He was presenting the prayers of the saints before God. That is the fire that is spoken of. That is the fire and the altar that is being spoken about here in Revelation chapter 14 and verse 18. But I want you to notice that something is going to happen with that fire in the censer. There's a time coming when the censer is not going to intercede anymore. It's actually going to be thrown to the ground, and fire will come out of it, fire to destroy. It says in verse 18, once again, "And another angel came out from the altar who had power over fire. And he cried with a loud voice to him who had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in your sharp sickle," and now notice, "and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth." Notice once again that the harvest is not over in the Middle East. It's not in a little valley next to Jerusalem. It says here that he is supposed to thrust in his sharp sickle and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth. And then notice it says, "For her grapes are fully ripe." In other words, this means that the wicked are fully wicked. They wouldn't ever become righteous if God gave them another 1,000,000 years. They are fully and totally and completely wicked. And so now comes the harvest of the wicked, who are represented as absolutely ripe grapes, and the Bible tells us that they are gathered all over the earth because the clusters of the vine are on the earth. Notice verse 19. "So the angel thrust his sickle into the earth." See, there it is again. It's universal. It's worldwide. "So the angel thrust his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth." There it is again. "Gathered the vine of the earth," and now notice, "and threw it into the great winepress of the wrath of God." Now this directly connects with the third angel's message, because the third angel's message says that whoever worships the beast, which we've already identified as the Roman Catholic papacy, as a system, and whoever worships his image, which basically is when the United States of America joins church and state and sets up a system similar to the one that the papacy had during the Middle Ages, and whoever receives his mark, the mark of the beast, we've already studied carefully from the Bible, represents the counterfeit day of worship. Whoever worships the beast, his image, or receives his mark, it says, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. So in other words, we find here the moment when the wicked have already made their decisions, they've already rejected the seal of God, they've accepted the mark of the beast, and now they're harvested as grapes, and the punishment of God is going to fall upon them.